Hi, Tony Selzo. Welcome to the Zipline. You know, about 2 years ago, the CIO of the federal government called Indianapolis, Indiana, the new Silicon Valley for healthcare information. And we have a great guest on the show today just to prove that it's starting to reach out beyond just Indianapolis. It's going into South Bend. It's going into Fort Wayne. This state is taking over healthcare information. CareX Tech. I have Kalli Devaraj on, who's going to tell us about this incredible software that is actually helping manage one of the most troublesome times that we can go through with our parents in understanding how to manage some of this aging and this dementia that they go through. Talk to us about what was the why for CareX. Kalli, what really got this going? I know you started out at the university, but what was fundamentally drove you to want to start this company?
Actually, when we started looking into developing a platform software for healthcare industry, we found that there was a tremendous need in the communication arena. How do caregivers talk to each other?
Right.
How do they pass on very critical information about caring for the patients amongst themselves? So that's what kind of started the whole process for us. But as we looked and dug deeper into the healthcare arena itself, we found it fascinating, a fascinating trend in the long-term care industry, where there's really a disconnect in the communication arena, especially between the people who care for the seniors and the family members of the seniors. There's a real disconnect. So that's kind of where we focused on and developed this product, which we have called Smile.
Right. And I think, when I was just doing my due diligence on what you guys were doing, I think what is so powerful is there's this new phenomenon happening now that the boomers are getting of age, right? They're retiring every day, 10, 11,000 a day. What you're having is this entire network of this nuclear family that's trying to stay connected to mom and dad, trying to manage the care for mom and dad, trying to understand what the care for mom and dad is actually doing, and then manage it. And your technology is really addressing a fundamental communication problem. And it's so funny to me, no matter how many times we do this show, how many technologies are being developed to manage just basic communications. Talk to me about some of the pain points that you saw in this home healthcare space.
Yeah, as you hit on, more families are becoming geographically dispersed. They are moving farther and farther away, and mom or dad needs care, and they're not willing to move. Right? So then they begin to look into some form of assisted living or, some kind of independent living. And, there's always always I think we all feel guilt when that happens, when we have to put mom or dad in assisted living, away from us. And, that's a fact. And I think Smile kind of alleviates that guilt to a little bit extent, at least, by keeping the family members engaged in the lives of their mom or dad or loved ones, right? We not only include the primary contact, whom we call the POA or the power of attorney, but also the extended family has a view into what is happening in the day-to-day lives of the seniors. So that's kind of what the platform does.
So, just allowing this whole ecosystem of information to come together, to have a repository, and then to be bridged on the day-to-day care, because there's some inherent problems with dementia that really negate proper communication. So you can actually be a care provider that's actually doing a great job taking care of the senior. You can be, going through, all the blood and sweat and tears that it takes to, do 12-hour, 24-hour, 8-hour a day care, right? And then the person you're caring for doesn't remember you actually caring for them and accuses you of not caring. That's got to be pretty demeaning. And then you develop a relationship with not only them but the family, and you want to get them engaged in how the senior's doing. But you don't have a way to effectively do that. I mean, after a long day, the last thing you want to do is sit down and input data. And your platform allows all this to be centralized and to be optimized in a way that people really get to know, what's going on with the care of their loved one. Is that fair?
Absolutely, yeah. Many times, it's also a conversation starter, what we call, right? So when family members called their loved ones, right? Hey, mom, what did you do today? Or what did you do yesterday? And then mom says, oh, nothing, and then there's like this dead silence. But if the family members know what mom or dad has been up to, hey, mom, tell me about the movie you went to yesterday, and that gets her talking.
Right.
So that's kind of very fulfilling. And the caregivers are the main drivers of the system. They input the information. It's real time. So if they have a minute in between doing a task, they just take a picture of mom having fun at the movies, post it out there, and it instantly sends a message to the family members, very non-intrusive. And it's HIPAA compliant, like I mentioned. So all it says is you have a message from this long-term care community. So whenever the family member has time, they log in and see what their loved one has been up to. And we've kind of tried to keep away from the medical or the actual care and keep it very positive. Because there are, people have fun in independent living, assisted living. It's not always bad. So that's kind of the bridge that we have built. And so far we are doing quite good.
Well, I mean, quite good. You just closed a round of funding that I think is an awesome Indiana story. The city actually came in and stepped up to help you fund, right?
Absolutely, yes. It's called the Industrial Revolving Fund, and typically they've used to fund only manufacturing industries, and only this year, in fact, in January or February, that they have started to look at companies like ours, because, we don't have what you call assets, right? Like your traditional trucks and equipment. So for them to come forward and say, yes, we believe in you, we want you here, we think you have a lot of potential, is very rewarding.
I just want to just really let our audience know how much of a mind shift that is. I mean, literally, South Bend, Indiana had the largest manufacturing facility in the world with Studebaker, right? With the facilities going there, and they're still taking that factory down. And now it's funding technology companies. I mean, that is a cultural. That is a mental shift. That is a political shift that's really had to happen for that city to grow and to make it into to survive into 2020.